Yeah, that's
Mhm. Hi, good afternoon. Hello. There's a few people here, a couple of people. Right. I'm going to start. I'm just going to go straight into it. Okay. Bitcoin. Let's have a look at the monthly candle. Okay, that's looking promising. Weekly. That's also looking promising. 3-day. Nice reversal pattern here. Potentially. Still got 2 days to go. So you don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 days. Could also always go up and come right back down. Daily, again, we're forming a nice reversal pattern. On the daily, that's quite a bullish reaction. Take liquidity from the lows, push up. That's kind of what you want to see for a bull. Oh, Bitcoin is pumping a little bit. It's pumping right now. Let's have a look at the order flow. Shorts closing, longs opening. Some big shorts closing, though. 1.2 million drop in OI. We're above the previous pivot now. Okay. That's good to see. All right. Okay, so let's just have a look at this Bitcoin chart. See if we can find anything interesting. Okay, volume profile on the 4-hour time frame. Let me pull it. Okay, it's the local volume. I'll keep that. Higher range volume. Value area high is slightly higher up. Value area low is slightly higher up. Point of control, same place. And we've filled the gap. It's 4-hour candle, and we're having a little bit of a bullish reaction off a back test on the local point of control. You see that? Let's have a look at the volume profile of this local range. Slightly higher value area, high. Point of control is now slightly lower. Perfect reaction there. Okay, so this is looking positive for the bulls. Nice reversal patterns here in the bottom. Liquidity at the absolute lows, higher lows. I think it's looking quite interesting. Back into the triangle. Oh my god, just long that. Probably just gonna long that. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Right, that's what you want to see, a little back test, and we're back into the triangle, deviation from the triangle, back into the triangle, little back test, and that's actually very bullish now because we're potentially reclaiming this lower trend line. And if we can flip it into support, then you're buying support within the context of the bottom of this triangle. The next task, as you can imagine, will be to break the top, flip the outside of it into support for continuation, then you'll have a break. Okay, of course, always be aware that in the same way that we had a little deviation at the bottom, could always have a deviation from the top, and then that would look bearish again. Very bearish actually. And in the context of some kind of price action like this, eventually these trend lines start to disappear, they become irrelevant, and then you just have to kind of look for some new ones potentially. Okay, so that's just to be aware. Otherwise we're going to go up. You could always have a reaction, you can bear this in mind, you could always have a reaction there, and then if you lose that again, same problem, you've lost the top of that triangle, you've lost the bottom of the triangle, so you kind of, it becomes less and less relevant. So it'd be nice to get a back test and a push up. That's kind of what you want to see as a bull, and obviously as a bear, they just want to see a failure to make new highs or swing failures into the highs. Yeah, so this is looking quite bullish currently. Little short squeeze there, back test on the previous high here, all the way down to the point of control, and then a bullish reversal, and then a continuation candle. Good afternoon, Marve. Welcome. He's saying, Marve's saying a lot of whales were accumulating in these deep pockets with low trading volumes, it seems. Yeah, obviously. But I mean, we, you know, and then, yeah, what can I say? You're not wrong. Maybe what we still need to do is make all-time highs. Ultimately, we still need to impulse out of this correction. And if I bring up my correction now, so I kind of missed the timing maybe a little bit, did I? Potentially. But, you know, these fib times are not 100% exact. They're kind of areas, potentially. Don't know how I came to there. Why did I come to there? I'm not sure what. Oh, there it is. No. I must have used a higher time frame candles. Let me have a look. So let's have a look at this one. From the top to the bottom to the top, I had a 1-to-1 actually. It's somewhere between the 1 and the 1.61 potentially. So we knew that there was an area for this harmonic, for this kind of correction to complete. Potentially it was here, actually here, but then the price came down one more time just to clear the lows. So that wasn't incorrect. The idea wasn't incorrect. The timing wasn't bad, but you know, Bitcoin being Bitcoin, it went down one more time to try and destroy everyone's hopes and dreams. Marve is saying that end of the month liquidity run turns bullish, awaiting the ETH spot launch at the end of the month. I thought it was going to be sooner. I have it in my mind that it's going to be in the next couple of weeks, week or two. Yeah, but I don't know. I was just reading an article. So we've come down into the range point of control. We found support once, twice, 3 times potentially. That was a bit of a front run. Now we've come back above the local point of control of this local range, right? And we've had a bullish reaction, a little bit of a back test. That's our support right now. So as far as bullish continuation, we just now don't want to lose this structure here, which is an SR flip at the local point of control. That's basically what doesn't need to happen. So if you're bullish, if you suddenly see us losing this level at 67775, well, that's not bullish, is it? It would suddenly become bearish, because you're losing an SR flip, and it becomes resistance, and so we have to go back down one more time. Not necessarily expecting that right now, because I can obviously see that there's a bullish reaction, and what you can see in the local time frame is that the price has come back and it's kind of held this last high, this the closest one. So there's a kind of, it's a really nice formation of candles right now, which indicates continuation. This formation indicates continuation. As long as you hold that pivot high, you can consolidate here for a while if you want, doesn't really matter, or you can just push up. And what we're trying to do is trying to flip the bottom of this triangle into support. It took a while to get through it. It might take a while to get back above it. Took a couple of attempts. See, 1, 2, and then down. Let's see how this plays out. Yeah, otherwise, and I think the markets are having a good reaction, and that's the most important thing to see, to look at when you're looking at some altcoins. And obviously I've been looking at Slerf. That's the one that I look at with all my lines. I'm seeing bullishness on Slerf, and therefore that helps me to have a bullish perspective on Bitcoin, because if for some reason Slerf is still leading Bitcoin ever so slightly, so it's not a bad indicator to see weakness or strength on Bitcoin. It doesn't necessarily mean that Bitcoin's going to move, but it does show the sentiment of the market. And right now I'm seeing quite a bouncy Slerf, and so therefore, even though Bitcoin is pulling back like that, as you can see, Slerf is kind of pushing up. Yeah, so similar price action in terms of the movements, but sometimes what you notice is that you see Slerf goes down before Bitcoin pulls back here. Bitcoin is one candle from the 5-minute time, one candle behind. Here you see Slerf it dropped at the same time. Now Slerf is trying to find support. Doesn't mean this isn't going to go down. It really doesn't, because it's not like crazy like FOMO strength that I'm seeing, but I am seeing now that people are buying and not panic selling. And I'm going to talk about Slerf in a second. So Bitcoin is just holding support. Hi RH, good afternoon, welcome. Yeah, I don't know if it helped. I'll have a look at it again, why not? Marve saying the BTC daily trading cap level is still below 1%. I do think that we're going to go up into this triangle. Yeah, just looking at the daily candles in between all these lines. Let me just get rid of all this now. And I haven't done a proper, like a full BTC analysis in a while, so I'll probably do that, not today, but maybe I'll do that tomorrow. So what you're getting now on Bitcoin is a little bit of a reaction from the daily level. See that? So we have to see what kind of reaction we get. Yeah, right now we're clearly getting a reaction. Let me just mark it down. I can find it. I haven't even marked it. That's my error. So let me just mark it off there. So I've called it. It should be called daily, but now that we've gone through it, we're having a little bit of a reaction. See that? So we've hit it once. We've hit it for the second time. It's the second test. It's higher high. That's actually quite bullish. one more. We could, as long as we put in a higher low here somewhere, find some support. We could have another test. Let's see what happens. We're getting a little bit of a bearish, a little bit of a sell-off here in the last 15 minutes. And I just want to quickly have a look at Slerf, see how Slerf, see, look, Slerf is now, they're kind of on the same page, Bitcoin and Slerf. So that's why I want to analyze Slerf, because that will give us the clues about everything else as well. Marve saying consolidation, consolidating within the range, small gain, small loss, waiting for liquidity to return to a nice June rally. I agree. I do agree. I think we're going to have a rally in June. So I think Bitcoin, I think it's good to look for buy opportunities in Bitcoin. Yeah. As long as we hold support. That's what I think. And the support is very clearly presented to us in the form of this market structure here. And effectively at the moment, as you can see, you can clearly see that there's a neckline. Yeah. So as long as we're holding support, what we're probably going to see is we're going to see some kind of alt season, especially what I've been noticing now, ever since this kind of pumped up a couple of hours ago, is that sometimes now what you'll notice is that Bitcoin goes down in the opposite direction of altcoins. So Bitcoin goes up, altcoins go down. Bitcoin goes down, altcoin goes up, altcoins go up. And so what we're getting is a little bit of a capital rotation. That kind of gives you the hint that people feel safe. Yeah, people are feeling safe. And that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting from the markets. That's what I'm kind of sensing in what I'm seeing in the price, current price action. Obviously that can always quickly change. And so let me just compare Bitcoin and BTC dominance as well. And this is quite good to look at too if you're a little bit unsure. You can look at dominance. If you see that Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance are doing the opposite thing, that usually means the market is quite strong. Yeah, when you see Bitcoin dominance and Bitcoin moving exactly the same way, then that usually tells you that there's a capital flow is going back into Bitcoin. But when they're doing the opposite thing, then that's quite a good sign for altcoins. And I mean, it's not easy to see, but sometimes you can get clues. I think at the moment it's quite interesting because sometimes I see Bitcoin pull back and I see altcoins go up, and that gives, I mean, obviously I'm looking at Slerf, but I'm also looking at some other altcoins and I see similar behavior. All right, for the week ahead, like I said, as long as we can just hold that support, I don't see any reason why we don't start attacking the highs. And simply because of the reason, because we're in this kind of value area, we're back above the point of control. Doesn't mean we're going to have a bullish impulse, but I am somewhat looking for one. And so that's what I'm going to be looking at now. So potentially we were looking at this together. We have our correction. Was this 5 waves? Was this 5 waves? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we seeing this kind of correction here? Where does the impulse begin? Was that the impulse? No, because we made a lower low. So the correction has to at least be till there now. Is this the impulse? Have we just experienced the first wave? This is how it begins. So this is the question. Was this the first wave? Yeah. It starts on the lowest time frame. These Elliott waves. You got to zoom in. I don't know. It's possible, isn't it? Look. 1, 2, some kind of 3, 4, 5 there. Then you have some kind of corrective move here, some kind of A, B, C, D, E. Something like that. I don't know. Or zigzags, or not zigzags, some kind of flat correction. I have no idea really, but it looks corrective. Could this be wave 3 that we're in? Let me just imagine that it is. I like the impulsiveness of that move. And I'm just wondering if we're kind of still correcting here. Potentially. Okay. Like to see that, huh? I'd like to see something like that today. This one's tricky because it actually looks like 5 waves here. Look, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not correct because here I can see that the wave 3 would be smaller. You see that? It's kind of a, it would be the smallest wave of these waves. So that makes you know that it's not correct. Has to be correct. Potentially, actually, that could be your wave 1 there. Yeah, I'll explain. You've got like a some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. See that? And then you've got potentially that ends there, and it's just an A, B, C there. A, B, C there. A, B, C here. Could that be it? Could we be having an extended flat correction right now as we speak? I'm going along. Just in case. Marve saying it's been repetitive to target Monday market opens in Europe for a good price action in the beginning of the month. So I am thinking this right now, actually. I'm thinking we've begun our impulse and it kind of starts like this. This could be an extended flat right now that we're experiencing. I'm literally looking at the 5-minute time frame and trying to, this potentially, I'm counting the wave 1 of 1 of 1 of 1 of however many waves there are. 5, but it all starts with 1, right? A small one, potentially. And I'm just keeping track of it, seeing if this actually develops into something. It might not. Good to get like another A, B, C here, and then see if we get an impulse up. Right, I'll keep a track of that now. I'm going to be on for a while. So, what time is it now? Be on for another hour. You can see how this develops. All right. I'm not going to do any crazy predictions, but potentially that's like a wave 1 there, with wave 2 here. This could be like a wave 3. With wave 4, maybe a wave 4. You never know if this happens. I don't know. I don't know. Just making this up, really. 1, 2, 3, 4 for a final 5 here, maybe. If you can, I mean, who knows? Like, just imagine these things and hope for the best. If that was your one, you could have a you see, that's the thing, you don't really want to lose that support, but you may lose it, just suddenly lose it and just bounce right back up on Monday. You never know. It'd have to be a sharp down and up. For this, for a really explosive move. Whatever. So I'll track this. None of this was impulsive, and also here we've put in a low. That's kind of where it begins when you're going to look at impulsive ways. It has to start at some kind of significant low. You've got to count the first impulse and take it from there. And potentially we could be in some kind of 5 waves up. It doesn't always have to work. You know, you could get false starts. You can get 5 waves up and then come all the way down and invalidate that. You know, that's always possible. And so it's just kind of, and effectively not 5 waves. It's in some kind of ABCDE or some kind of complicated correction, which we've counted it like this, but actually you could probably be counted in ABCs. What you want to look for is impulsive behavior. That's what you're looking for, impulses. Yeah. And so here I can see it's quite impulsive. It's very impulsive. And the correction didn't really come down to fill the gap. So I like that. And this is quite impulsive, isn't it? Down and up. So we want to see if that behavior continues. Potentially looking at the price action now, we are still correcting. It looks like it. It's not impulsive. And so what I'm looking for are impulses. But I'm getting the same kind of count idea on Slerf. Can't even pronounce Slerf. And that's kind of what I wanted to look at in a little bit more depth now. Slerf, right? Gary's not here. He's probably out in the sun because it's sunny in the UK for the first time in literally a millennia, whatever. No, that's not true. Last summer we had a hot summer. Okay. Slerf has been very interesting, but you know, it's good. Slerf is quite good because I can predict it. So I don't mind Slerf because I can predict it. So it kind of gives me a bit of good confidence about this token that I can kind of predict stuff. Yesterday I was looking at potentially going down again, and lo and behold, it went down. Let's have a look at my correction yesterday. Okay, yeah. So, So yesterday I was looking at two endpoints for this correction, based on my idea of a WXY zigzag after we had this first impulsive 5 waves. And the question was, where does the C land? Yeah, that was the question. And I said, we don't know, but I would like it to hit the high volume node and get a reaction. Look at that, no reaction. Yeah, no reaction from the high volume node. Because there was no reaction, it closed on the other side. Little back test, down, down, down. Okay, that's what happened yesterday. It's hard to predict. You just have to wait. Yeah, you can't really predict what's going to happen. Could have quite easily held support there, and it didn't. And the reason why it didn't is because there wasn't enough buying, really. Ultimately, it came down. It always comes down to buyers versus sellers. There wasn't enough buying at that level. And maybe people didn't want to catch a falling knife. That really probably was it. People wanting the price to just bottom out, to finally bottom out. And effectively, that's what happened. And so I was looking at 2 targets for yesterday. I thought the 0.618, because there was confluence with the high volume node, I thought that would be a good place for the price to find support. Yeah, do that. That would be very bullish if the correction ended yesterday like this. Why is that more bullish? Well, firstly, it's easier to get back into market structure. And second, and back into the range. Yeah. Secondly, it's also it just means that people end up FOMOing in, pushing the price up. Yeah. If people are still out of the market, they might have got out here or anywhere here. They can just, you know, not FOMOing in now, you know, so they're just looking at the price action now, and they're kind of just planning their entrances there. And it's a slightly different way the price moves when that happens. Yeah. You kind of want to create an environment where people FOMO. And that's why I think it was more bullish, because if people are expecting lower and it doesn't go lower, instead of going down, it just kind of does that. Then it's just, that will be FOMO, and the FOMO would have done that. So it's a very different price action to what happened yesterday. And let me explain. And so I had this 618 as a target on my live stream yesterday. And also I said, if it doesn't manage to hold there, then guess what? The target is going to be this 1-to-1. And I talked about that yesterday on my stream. And look where the price got to. Yeah. See that? So the techniques that I'm using work. They do work. You can clearly see that. It doesn't take anyone with any kind of level of intelligence to see that these levels are being acknowledged, they're being respected. As far as I can see, at the moment we've held the higher low, which is what I wanted. I didn't want us to make a lower low here. And as the price was dropping yesterday, I mean, it could have turned, you know, it's hard to tell what could happen or couldn't. Here, when you're looking at the price action here, you know, there's no reason really why it should have fallen. Except that someone market sold, really. That's all it is. This one here, this person here, see that's a market sell, really, for no reason. They obviously were panicking. They might have took a large position here, and maybe they didn't take profit. I don't know. Effectively, what I was seeing yesterday was a whole lot of profit taking, and what you ended up with in this price action here is a classic 3 drives pattern. Right, that's what this was, a classic 3 drives pattern. 1, 2, 3. And that's a reversal pattern. I'm going to show it because it's good to see these things. The more you see these things, the more familiar they become, and then in the future when you see them again, you'll know. Yeah, they kind of shape, they're not always the same, but they basically, it's the same idea. I'll show you it. That's it, basically. Bearish 3 drives pattern. Well, when it says bearish, it means that it's bearish because it's going down, but it's not actually bearish because look, the price goes up. But effectively what you have is a 3 drives pattern. It's not easy to pick up because, you know, who knows what's going to happen after the price does that. But, you know, after you get the second one, then it's a lot easier to see all 3 and then trade rather than just try and trade them. It's just the way the market behaves. And now you've seen it. Now I've shown it to you. Basically every single time it came back to some kind of golden pocket area. See, golden pocket from the high to the low, and then from that high to that low, you see the price came back up to the golden pocket. So it rejected the golden pocket on 2 occasions, and then surprise, 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 on the whole pattern from 0 to the bottom to the 3rd drive, which is from here. if you take it all the way down to, where is it? Here. Not sure exactly where, but probably here, up here. Let me just get it to the pivots. So we can actually get it correct. You see how when the price came up after the free drives pattern completed, what happened next was the price came all the way back up. Here you can see the golden pocket was front run, but that's basically the target, the 618. Yeah, it was front run, and then it made another attempt, and we're going to go into the current price action now. Okay, so that's what happened this morning. If you weren't aware, it's good to see. And so now we've seen a 3 drives pattern play out on Slerf. I'm sure this is going to happen again. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the first of many in the future of this token. So just observe the price action, and if you see this again in the future, you'll know exactly what's happening. You can see the massive red volume, red volume, red volume, and red volume. Effectively, what you're seeing are big liquidations. That was relatively a small. There's probably people being stopped out of market. It was on Bybit, it was 3.57 million. This one was 2.39 million. Probably someone just selling. Okay, but this last one was like nearly 4 million. Probably liquidations, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if there were liquidations in these events. If you look at the volume, it's significantly higher. The last one was here. And it was actually, it looks like it's more volume coming out than volume coming in the initial impulse. So that kind of gives me the idea that there was some kind of liquidations here. You can see on the 1 hour time frame how much volume in that 1 hour period you had. 7.8 million, 5 million, and 9.6 million. I think there was a bit of a liquidation event here. Filled the gap, came into the 1-to-1 target for this zigzag, and had a really bullish reaction after some kind of reversal pattern, a 3 drives pattern into the lows here. So now you've seen this play out, this kind of pattern, this kind of zigzag. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be kind of looking for it in the future, and hopefully you'll be able to trade it better than I ever have been, you know. But you know, this is it's a learning, you know. You got to keep on learning, you got to keep on practicing, and eventually we'll be masters. So looking at Slerf, obviously we've had a completion of this pattern, and we had a little bit of a bullish response. Does that mean we're going up? That's the question, right? That's the question. I have actually said in my stream, Marve is writing a lot of stuff. I can't just read all of that, Marve. Let me finish what I'm doing. Alt season begins, Slerf moontime. You know, there's a little bit of a clickbait, but why not? Let's do it. Let's start. Let's begin. Why not? So, looking at this correction, I'm thinking one of two things. And firstly, I'm thinking it's always possible that we do one more attack at the lows. Yeah, I don't know how it's going to be. It's always possible. It's always possible to have one more attack at the lows, and as long as you don't take out that low, you know, it's always possible. But what we're experiencing now, and that would basically be some kind of ABCDE instead of this kind of WXY. Okay, so while I've got it like this, I'm not saying this is what's happening. I have no idea really if this is going to play out like this, but effectively like that. As long as you don't take out that low, you know, this could be something like that. As long as you don't take out this low, this could change into a different form. Okay, and that's what we're looking for. And what I've noticed actually on the really local time frame, the 5-minute time frame, is that out of these lows we have actually impulsed, and that's what I wanted to kind of look at now, the really local time frame price action. So there, okay, so on the 5 minute time frame we've actually impulsed out of this low. There's your wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Okay, it might be easier to look at the 1 minute time frame just so that you can see the waves. It's not easy to see, but they're, you know, you're basically counting some kind of 1 zigzag, 3, 5. I don't know. There's like 5 waves there. There's another 5 waves there. Another correction and another 5 waves there. Okay. And the main thing is that you just you always observe the rules. As long as the rules are observed, then potentially this could be your wave 1 of you know, of whichever one we're on, but basically wave 1. After you've completed this 5 waves, what are you looking at next? A correction, right? A correction. And looking at what I'm seeing now, potentially we could be seeing some kind of extended flat, if this is correct. Yeah, this isn't wave 7. Yeah, this is potentially an extended flat. Yeah, now it could stop here, you know, it could stop there, it could come all the way down there. And what you would want to see is some kind of impulse. The other question is this the next wave? Because that's quite impulsive too. So you're basically looking at the impulses. So the other thing that I'm looking at potentially here is the corrections. Yeah, and so while here from the 3 to the 4, this was this was really flat, wasn't it? This was a flat correction. It's potentially, I don't know, I mean, maybe as some kind of ABC. You can see there's an ABC there. And then the 5, does the 5 actually go up to there? 1, 2, 3, not really. Is it to there? ABC, AB, no, probably not. Probably to there. And then this whole thing is, we're still correcting. That's quite impulsive. Could that be the next wave, the wave 1 of the next wave? And that's kind of what you're looking for now for bullish in continuation. And if you don't get it, then you don't get it, then it's not, okay? But we're looking for it, and so that's why we're keeping a track of it. Let me just kind of throw those up there, change the color to, do it to red. And yes, let's have a look at this idea. You never know. Let's have a look. This move here looks quite impulsive, all right? It does, doesn't it? It looks quite impulsive. And there's like 5 waves. Once you've completed the last wave, we are kind of going sideways. So this would be considered some kind of flat correction. And let's not lose that idea. So basically what I'm saying is that we're not having, it doesn't look like we're having some kind of zigzag if these 5 waves are true. So therefore, if this is flat, if it suddenly starts doing this, then that would be obviously not right. Maybe we have to recount, or maybe we are having a zigzag and I've miscounted. Don't think so, but it's possible. Could the wave 3 be up to there, and that's the final wave? Let me just investigate that idea. 1, 2, whatever this is a 1, 2. Who knows? It could be till there, you know, whatever. 2, let me see. 4, 5. No, that's correct. Wave 3 up to there. ABC, ABC, whatever, ABC. Yeah, that's a zigzag all the way up to there. 1, ABC. See, this doesn't work. Potentially it could be to there, but it couldn't be to there. Because you could have like a wave 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that means here, this is an extended flat. That's what we'd possibly be experiencing here. And, you know, you can just count ABCs. Let's have a look. It's a big C, huh? I mean, potentially it should end quite soon, huh? If this is an extended flat. How would you know? Well, we have to impulse. Yeah, this is what needs to happen now. So, and this is the thing. This is your wave 1 now, potentially. This is your wave 2 correction, what we're experiencing now. We have to see if we have an impulsive next wave. If this is flat, if that's an extended flat, then this would be a good place for it to find support on this high volume node. Yeah. And if it does find support here, I wouldn't be surprised if we do have an impulsive move the next wave. And let's see, we could actually be, if we do get a bit of an injection of volume now, then we could see this rise up further. Alternatively, and this is the alternative, this is the beginning correction of some other more complicated correction. Still ABCs based on these 5 waves. As long as, and so in the context of these 5 waves, you don't, this is your invalidation, this low here. But if you invalidate this initial kind of 5 wave impulse on this small wave here, if this whole thing is invalidated, doesn't mean that we've invalidated the overall idea, because that's still intact. Yeah, this low is still intact. If we come down here and take out this current low without taking out the original low, then it's still intact, as long as we still impulse away, yeah, in 5 waves. Again, you see we're losing the high volume node now. So the thing about these corrections is, if it's an extended flat, it could definitely do that. Take out the highs, take out the lows. Take out the highs, take out the lows. But you still want to see an impulse. And that's the key to the next move, to seeing what happens in the next move. And obviously this could correct. Now, if we start losing, and this is what you've got to be aware of, we start losing this level here and not reclaiming it in the kind of, we need to, like, at the very least, in the same way, just go up and come down. We do that, that's fine. But if we come underneath here and we start kind of going down, possibly we're going to head right back to the lows, possibly. Yeah. And the thing you have to bear in mind is that if you're bearish, you're trying to invalidate this 5 waves, because that would cause people to sell. Yeah, that's the trigger point, isn't it? And so if people are trying to short this and they're making money from shorting, then they're trying to make it bearish effectively. And so that's what we have to contemplate. All right, so that's Slerf. Let's have a look at Slerf against Bitcoin, because that's been quite a good guide for us. We see that Slerf is pulling back, and Bitcoin on the right. Yeah, you see Bitcoin's pulling back. Now, what's interesting is it looks like Bitcoin is pulling back more. It looks like it when you compare the candlesticks. It looks like at the moment Bitcoin is pulling back a little bit more. You see it's how it's already passed the previous candle, whereas here we're just at the base of the previous candle. And so it's not independent, like we're not in that kind of magic moment yet where alts will just pump and not give a care in the world about Bitcoin. We're not there yet. Okay, and this is still going to play out correctly. Right now we potentially have had some kind of 5-wave move up to this point, to this high volume node. We've extended past it. Now we're coming back. Let's see where it finds support. The next question will be if we impulse. It may happen. Looking at Bitcoin, if Bitcoin right now is, if you look at it, you see that it's consolidating above these highs. That's as long as you don't lose that flip. If it comes back down now and finds support, Bitcoin could also have impulsed and it's doing some kind of extended flat here. And so the question will be, do you get that now? And you see now, looking at Slerf, Slerf is looking a little bit more resilient in comparison to Bitcoin. So that does give me the indication that potentially we are still looking for higher. Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at with Slerf right now. I think it's quite interesting how Slerf has played out over the last week or so. And obviously I've been following it. And this correction has been quite interesting to follow as well. And I think most people will agree that it wasn't bad. Like the ABCs were all pretty much on point. Obviously the last one was just crazy extended. Basically, after I finished my stream yesterday, when did I finish it? In the morning, we were just down here somewhere here. Price dropped 10%. Crazy. If you remember, I was saying up here we should be shorting. From that top to bottom, it came down 20%. Yeah. But anyway, we're kind of in the lows. What happens here could be pivotal for people's bank accounts. Yeah. And I think we could either be broke or we could be rich. Let's hope for the latter. All right. On the higher time frame, when it comes to Slerf, let me just quickly update my volume chart to see if there's any significant changes in the volume. There's a little bit more volume put into this high volume node now. A little bit more, we could flip it and make it point of control. Come on, guys. Buy. Buy. Or sell and buy. It doesn't really matter. That would be amazing. It would be amazing to see that happen. And I think that would make this whole chart all of a sudden significantly more bullish. And yeah. And let's see what happens, okay? I am in a long. I mean, I have been trying to long. I've been invalidated twice. But that's fine, because you eventually, I'm going to, you know, maybe this is the long that makes me millions. And, you know, that's the thesis, isn't it? That's what we're trying to do. And we may fail a few times or not. But eventually, the thesis behind what we're looking at are prices that never return, or not, at least in the context of this bull market. And we could be looking at that, you know, looking at the candles forming now. The question for me is whether we do another like D&E and go down lower, or whether we're actually trying to now form the low here, or whether, you know, whether this whole thing, a whole quest is a fool's errand and actually we're about to head down. No one can predict that, but eventually, one time in the future, the low will be made. Yeah, it could be now. And if that is the pivot low, it might not be. We might all. The other thing you should always think about is the possibility of this, of one last liquidity run, one last massive liquidation event before you get an explosive move. So you always have to be prepared for that. So even after you get validated in your trades, don't be at a loss, because if you suddenly see this, you have to just jump right back in, have a brand new validation point. Yeah, and that's you always have to be aware of that kind of possibility in crypto or anything really. And let's see. I mean, it's looking quite good. I obviously want to see more volume, and that's like, for me, that's the biggest challenge when I'm looking at these candles, especially when you're trying to form some kind of pin in the lows. You kind of want more volume, yeah. And so when I'm looking at the daily time frame, looking at this candle now, and what's happened in the past, look, and I think these circumstances are slightly different. You see this candle here, the price, we had this red candle, we had this red candle. The price went down. It had this green candle, but the difference between this green candle and our current green candle is that we haven't closed up in the highs. Yeah, we're still at the lows. You have to see how this candle closes. If it does somehow close similar to that, you know, we may get the possibility of some kind of red, green. Just bear that in mind. And we know that that can happen. Yeah. Now, in the context of these 2 days, the price made a higher low. So the invalidation held. And something I've noticed about the price on Slerf is every time it comes down, we're making higher lows. That hasn't changed. And considering that this is on Bybit derivatives, higher lows are being put in. Liquidations are happening. There was liquidations today. There's a big one here. Probably lots of liquidations. And you're still making higher lows. So that just gives me the clue that potentially we are about to go up. That's what I'm thinking. And it will when it happens, and then the rest will just be history, won't it? Right. So I'm just keeping a track of this on a really local time frame, potentially looking at some kind of extended flat idea. You see, we've already come into there, not impulsed. So, could we be, that's the thing. Corrections are quite complicated. You kind of want impulse, huh? That's what you want to see now. You want to see impulsive behavior after you have some kind of correction. Could the correction have started here? Could I have mistimed it? Yeah, let me have a look at that. I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it's here, maybe I've mistimed it. Then we're still, you're still making ABCs potentially. That's assuming that this is some kind of bullish 5-wave impulsive move, to see how this now plays out. And I think at the moment, looking at the price action, because I'm thinking about some kind of extended flat, we've extended to the top side, it's possible that we extend to the bottom side. Yeah, and so it'll be very important to see what happens at these lows here, if we do that, or just a swing failure. And then the other thing to look at would be the whole volume profile from this move up to see where the volume is at the moment. All right, that's interesting. So you can see that if this move up, the point of control is at that first consolidation patch area, and now the price is above, and the move up, the price is above certain levels which still need to be flipped into resistance. And the big one, actually, you're looking at it as this kind of value area low, value area high between these two mini ranges, this mini range and the overall range. So possibly we want to just kind of hold here and see if the price can impulse. That's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for an impulsive move on a Friday. Sunday. It's Sunday at 5 p.m. Now, this is what we don't really want to see. In the context of this, fall right back down and just can't get back up. And what you see is that there's probably quite a large drop down to the point of control. There's probably some kind of fib levels in between somewhere, but on their own, they're not really going to offer much support. You see the, yeah. And then does that invalidate this 5 waves? No, as long as you hold a higher low and you can impulse. If the price does end up going here for a react and you can impulse, yeah, then no. That could actually be quite good. If that was to happen, then you have a zigzag actually, but it's a weird one, huh? Because you went up first. Not expecting it. Doesn't really make any sense. But regardless, if you're in a long and you start losing this level, it'd be hard to hold the longs, you know, or not short, to fall back underneath this structure. That's not going to be good, is it? And so we could be start another leg down essentially. Right? It's kind of what I'm looking at Slerf at the moment. I obviously want it to impulse. It'd be a lot easier for me if we just went up. At the moment it's holding. Let me have a look at Bitcoin at the same time. Yeah, you see Bitcoin is kind of going down, while Slerf's going up a little bit. So potentially there's still strength here, because I can see it's obvious that Bitcoin is slightly weaker. Slightly weaker than Slerf. What is clear is that BTC didn't go for 70k this weekend. Well, the weekend's not over. Marve. So yeah, maybe it will. You see here, Bitcoin is showing a little bit of weakness in comparison to Slerf. It's interesting because Slerf is doing like some kind of, it looks like it's some kind of extended flat correction. And actually, yeah, Bitcoin is as well. Yeah, Bitcoin is doing an extended flat too. Look, they're both doing extended flats. They're actually both, in this context, Bitcoin is, Slerf is a little bit more bullish. But potentially, let's look at these waves. First wait, look. Slerf dropped and it was going sideways, and as Slerf went up and Bitcoin was going down. See that? Bitcoin going down, Slerf going up. That was your clue. That was your clue. Okay. After that happened, Bitcoin went up like crazy. And like I said, Slerf is leading Bitcoin, so you can actually tell what's happening on, it was about to happen on Bitcoin by looking at Slerf. There's obviously some smart people trading this token. They know what's going on. You know, they know how to read the charts. They know where to buy and sell. It's obvious. So potentially that's impulsive too on Bitcoin. And if that is like some kind of wave one, this could be the extended, some kind of extended flat here. Some kind of, see that? I'm going to bring that up. Yeah. Let's have a look at this up to there. I'm going to buy this dip, huh? This next BTC dip. I'm going to buy it. Where could it come to? Golden pocket? It's always a good place. It's in there now. A little bit of a reaction. The golden pocket. I like that price action, to be honest with you. So I'm going to buy some BTC. Don't like buying. Oh, I had it on close. Okay. Let's see. Just scaling a little bit. Maybe if we do kind of find support here, then we could impulse. That's what we want to see. Do we impulse? We're underneath the point of control on BTC though. So obviously we have to get above it. The reason why I like it is we've come back above this pivot here. You know, so I like that. I like the pivots can't hold the price. We've obviously, the main thing is to get her back above there. And the reason why I like it is because I can see that Bitcoin and Slerf are kind of doing the same thing, but in a different way. That gives me a little bit of confidence. Okay. And I have a clear invalidation of Slerf. We kind of lose this neckline. Come underneath it, start closing there. I think people will start selling. Probably get the same behavior of Bitcoin as well, although Bitcoin did kind of fake out underneath this value area before it rallied up. That's why I think this is some kind of extended flat, because that obviously wasn't the next wave. This wasn't the next wave, so and because we're in a correction, it looks like we're probably coming to the end of the correction. The question will be, do we go up impulsively in the next candle? That's going to be the 4-hour candle. So let me quickly have a look at the 4-hour candles. And let me hide all this stuff. Could have just hidden it here. Let's have a look. And you see the Slerf 4-hour candle is green doji in the wick of the previous 4-hour candle. So potentially a bullish hold in the highs, as long as the next one is a push up. Bitcoin is showing a red candle has come back, contested structure. So potentially you could get a buy up in the next candle. Potentially it's possible with that candle if you're looking to enter. Obviously, it's also possible that we have another one of these kind of red candles with wicks. That's not going to look so pretty. And so the question here is, are we going to get some kind of buy up? It's hard to say, really. I mean, it's a coin flip, really. See, the thing about this BTC candle is you've taken the liquidity from the top already. Yeah. So you've already got people positioned in their shorts because of the swing failure of the previous candle. And it'd be good to see in the next candle, see if we squeeze up or we do another swing failure at the highs. Marve, are you just spamming? Are you just non-stop spamming? Are you alive? I think Marve 2.2 is a bot. It's spamming my channel. I wonder if there's any way to find out. can't see people's profiles. Marve, are you there? No, don't delete your comments. I just don't know if we're chatting or if you're just you're just if it's a bot. It's like a bot. Just non-stop. No, don't delete your comments. It was just interesting. Maybe that's why you put 2.2 behind your name. No, don't delete your comments. All right, so I hope for Doge. So let's see what happens. Okay, so Bitcoin going up now. Slerf kind of not just yet. You have high hopes for Doge? That's not the greatest candle there. Yeah, whales have been. The problem with the BTC price action is that if you do fall underneath this area, then it's just gonna drop. That's the problem. You can't lose that neckline now. Once you've established that kind of idea, there's no way that the price can lose that right now. And then just kind of seeing where we crossed it was here. So it's kind of similar on Slerf, to be honest with you. You kind of don't want to lose the neckline. And you can kind of see how there is a neckline in play here, and they kind of correspond. All right. So I think the Slerf correction is coming to an end, or at an end. And we've had our first sign of life. And the question is going to be whether this continues or not. No one really knows. The other thing to bear in mind is that market structure is bullish, yeah, and it kind of it's basically if you take out that low, this is the low. That will be a lower low, and then if we don't, you see, the thing is that would potentially, that's correction over of this mini 5 waves. Not sure where the 5 comes to be honest with you. I'm saying it's still there. If this is some kind of extended flat, 1, 2, some kind of 5 wave ABC here. And so if you do take out the low like that, then we need to impulse. Right. It's at the point of control now. It's holding support. It's not a bad area for the price to find support if people don't market sell. But they do, they market sell. Stop market selling. Let me have a look at some other things. What's the time? 4:45. This is a really bad hourly candle. And there, you're getting your sell now. And the buy up, that's your, no, that's a higher low. Oh, wait, hold on. That's a buy up. See that? That was a lower low. That's increasing volume. and you've just put in a lower low, you've taken out the liquidity, the price is pushed up a lot, huh? Look at that. Oh, that's a lot of volume in that candle. I'd say that's really bullish, no? That's pretty bullish. Huge volume into the low. Take out the low. How much volume was put into that five minute candle? Someone just bought 366,000 Slerf in that buy up. Now the price will probably try and get back down. If it doesn't, it's really bullish. You could probably add to your Slerf position as long as we don't make a new low there. And that's the thing. We need Slerf really needs to impulse now. I think if we want to see this impulse, it needs to happen soon. Not sure when exactly. And that person who sold just now, if the price loses his candle, his low, then he'll just probably just market dump, you know. So maybe he's just watching my stream and just bought at the right place, basically. Sometimes that has an impact on the funding rate. So let me have a look at the funding rate as well. No, the funding rate is neutral. Problem with these candles is if you don't have continuation candles or reversal continuation, then effectively you've cleared all that liquidity. So if the price does go down, it goes down a little bit easier. And I'm not sure. This is all gonna, I think actually, even though Slerf leads, I think Bitcoin is actually in control. It's like a bad relationship. I foresee more expansion, retention, a low price for a long time. I don't know what that means. So now we want to see if Bitcoin impulses. Yeah. That's what we want to see, maybe. I think we go up again, we will impulse. Let me see. We've put in a lower low on the 5 minute here. We're back above those lows. Now all we need to do is take out that high. That's all they need to do. And then we will probably have some kind of impulsive continuation. There's some fight here on Slerf. Slerf is fighting. And where is that in comparison to the point of control? Let's have a look. Slightly higher. So we still have to cross that level. All right. So we have to see what happens here. I think it's quite interesting that we've come into my one-to-one area. We've obviously had a bullish reaction, and in the context of what's happening now on Slerf, I'm thinking that we need to flip that high volume node into support first. We can do that, then I think you're going to suddenly see an increase in volume. Yeah, because I think a lot of people will want to buy once we flip that level into support. So right now, obviously, we haven't done it yet. We've reacted once, twice, had a little bit of a failure to get above. Let's see if we have one more attempt. If this is some kind of extended flat, you'd want to see it a springboard on the next move up. Okay, I don't see why we can't have that today. Yeah, looking at the candle, is a green candle. We've already gone up to clear a little bit of liquidity. The day's still, we still got hours to go. Let's see what happens with this candle, how far we can get. We'll keep an eye on it. Right, I'll keep an eye on Slerf. Let's have a look at TRVL. So kind of the same story as before. We're trying to find a bottom here, and we're so close to my X that I'm just wondering if we even reach there or not. I just don't know. I'm almost thinking we won't reach there now, and it's hard. It's I almost want us to go down just a little bit, just so that we can change market structure to bearish, so that we can go up and make it bullish again. Okay, it still is bullish because we put in a lower low, but confirmation would be a higher high, and that's all the way up 12 cents. You see right now, if you look at these candles, you can see that yesterday closed above these lows. Today we're having a buy up, and tomorrow needs to be an up. Yeah, that's what you want to see. You don't want to see a buy up and then another sell. Even if you did see a sell off, again, we're still in the kind of area that I'm interested in. It was yesterday and basically today, and we're so close to that area. We're only 5% away from that area. Could this go sideways for a few days? Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible we kind of do that. Hopefully to go up. And I've noticed that TRVL lags a little bit compared to the market. So, which is good if you're accumulating, but it's not good if you're all in and you got no other coins. Yeah. So maybe the strategy would be to take your profits from other coins which might be moving first, and then pull it into TRVL. Eventually TRVL will catch up and hopefully push up. But you see, we're kind of into the area that I've been kind of interested. See here on the daily time frame, it looks like we're missing it, but on the 4-hour time frame, it actually looks like we had a little reaction from that trend line, kind of in the area of interest. So that's good. You want to see a reaction. You don't want to see the price to just fall through. As long as this holds, this area holds as support, then the next challenge would be to start changing local market structure and then higher time frame market structure. Looking at this kind of price action here, you can see that we made a lower high, lower low, higher high. On the 5-minute time frame, we're trying to, as long as we don't take out these lows here, we're trying to put in some kind of higher low. Confirmation of the change, 5-minute market structure change in the context of this local price action would be to take out that high. Yeah. And once that happens, you know, it will start trending up again. And then we have to see if the market rallies behind TRVL or not. You think Europeans are more scared to buy low positions and accumulate big bags? I don't think so. Why? Why would you say that? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so you keep on tracking it. I think 4.5. I mean, what can I say? It's a good price. Eventually we'll come into the lows and the lows will be in eventually. Yeah. So I always say that, but it was hard to kind of catch the low here as the price was descending. You know, could that have been a low? 2.6? Yeah, could have been. Could 2.4 could have been a low? Yeah. Could that be the low? This last, let's see that, it went up. It looked like an Adam and Eve here actually. That could have been the low. It could have been at 2.3. Eventually it comes, yeah, and then you have the low, and the low is in. Whatever it got to here, 1.9, that was the low, yeah. No one could have predicted, no one knew that 1.9 there was going to be the all-time low. You know, it could have gone down. It was a lot harder to catch the all-time low because you're effectively into price discovery underneath the lows. Here it's a little bit of a different situation because we're coming back into support, yeah. But what we're imagining is that this low that's going to be made now is the low of before the next wave, okay? And we'll know because we'll be looking for an impulse. That's what we're looking for, an impulse, okay? Now I don't know if we have to go up in a corrective way and come down one more time in a corrective way before we have our input. I don't know if that's required, yeah, or we just go up, okay? And of course that's largely to do with what's happening on Bitcoin and the rest of the market. But would you buy here? That's the question. You know, you have to ask yourself these questions. Is this the right place, the right time to buy, right price, right place, right time, right price? When you look in the price action, do you look at it and go, no, this is actually a good price now, I want to buy this? You're looking at the weekly close. It's a bearish weekly candle, obviously, but the fact that the weekly candle is looking to close above these previous lows is actually quite bullish. What normally happens when you get this kind of price action is that the next candle is going to be a green candle. Normally that's what happens. Similar to here, you see here the price red candle came down, couldn't get underneath the low here. So normally what happens next one is at least it's green. So I'll be looking for a green candle next week, and then we have to see if that continues. And so do I see any other examples of that price action? No, just that red candle there. It ended up in quite a bullish green candle. I'd like to see a bullish green candle. Yeah, I can't see the same thing happening anywhere else. Otherwise I'd show you. Happened here, it's very different, but you had this red candle comes into the wick, closes above the wick low, and then you end up with a green candle. This one's different because it's green, but it's it was bought up and then sold into. So I am actually expecting a green candle next week. Just looking at the weekly candles, that would kind of be good because you're buying it at the month, at this kind of monthly divide. It's like a really good place to buy right now. Looking at the current volume so far, we've had 6 million TRVL traded. 2 million today, 4.5 million yesterday. Yeah, on Bybit. Let's have a look at KuCoin. Yeah, KuCoin, the volume has dropped significantly. I don't know why. Let's have a look at Gate. So right now Bybit is still driving the price. There's a little bit of volume on MEX as well, MEXC. So the highest volume exchanges are at the moment Bybit and MEXC for TRVL. Right, that's TRVL. Any questions? Probably not, because there's only Marves here. All right. Let's have a look at that token that we were looking at yesterday. Okay. Okay. I can't remember what I said yesterday, but I think I said that it needs to at least get above the launch price. That's where it needs to get to. This is what needs to happen if to repair all the damage. So still kind of nothing really in today's candle. Right. Let's go back to Slerf and keep an eye on that. Price has gone down to fill the wick, getting another bullish reaction. So volume in, and then we're getting a buy up out. Let's have a look at HTX. No, nothing really on HTX. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. This is going up. Bitcoin's going up. So what we want to see on Bitcoin is an impulse. That will be really important to see. I think if we see that, then we're going to get a little bit of a pump on altcoins. And I don't know, look, you'd expect it by now based on this count, wouldn't you? Unless I'd done it wrong. And I could have done it wrong. Maybe the wave one is there. Maybe this is a 2. This whole thing's a 2. If it's like that. Right, let me do it a different way actually, because I prefer it a different way. Sometimes it's good to count every wave. And then sometimes it's good to just count the high to lows. So doesn't really matter where it starts, if it starts there or there. Okay, I'm not really seeing an impulsive move. So I'm now thinking to myself, correction continues. Six 1 8. 6 1 8. So can we get to there? That would look bearish. You almost want lower highs here now. I don't know, because you really want to cross that daily level as well. Really, for bullishness, we want this. Don't know if that will look like. I don't think that will look right either. Doesn't look right. So the question, I think the question for me is, as we go up, do we hold the golden pocket? It's important because we're holding it now in the first, in this last drop. As soon as we stop holding the golden pocket, then that will be a bit of a sign. Let me see how it is acting on Slerf. See. It's interesting. Do my wave impulse. Yeah, that's fine. Could it be to there? Don't think so. Okay. It's there actually. I think it's over there here. It's there. Doesn't really matter. A B C A B C A B C C. Yeah. It's Bitcoin going up or down right now? Oh god, it's gone down. It goes up, goes down. think Slerf is holding actually compared to Bitcoin. As long as Bitcoin doesn't give up the ghost. Right, so Bitcoin was still correcting. Yes, it goes up like that. Four-hour candles just printed on Slerf, and the first reaction is not good. So this is something to bear in mind. I haven't had a good reaction. So the first liquidity level will be the bottom of that previous 4-hour candle. That 1-hour candle closed bearish. We're having a little bit of a sell-off. So they're starting to look bearish again, huh? Ooh. So the volume area has gone up, but the point of controls also moved up. It's not what I wanted to see. That's not good. TradingView calls it a strong sell Slerf. Yeah. I don't really pay attention to that stuff, to be honest with you, Marvey. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the home page. Or here. It's not working here, is it? Oh, there it is. This, you're talking about all of this. Technicals. Social insights. Don't really pay attention to this. It's always lagging. Yeah, if you're trying to capture the top or bottom, you're counter trending effectively. You're never gonna. It's not gonna. It's not gonna say what preempt what you want, what it's gonna do. Just tells you where it was yesterday. That's what that is. It's a lagging indicator. It's telling you what happened in the past. Can't tell you what's happening in the future. Yeah. So you can't really don't try not to mix those two ideas. Now the CCI can tell you what's happening in the future. It's possible with the CCI because it's a leading indicator. But again, the CCI, as with any indicator, it tells you something. Like here, it tells you it's going down. Look, you're losing the -100 line. That's a bearish signal. As it crosses, that's bearish. But it depends. I mean, it could just bounce. I mean, it doesn't look like it. 15 minutes. This candle would have to be green. It'd have to go up and fill the rest of that. Like, you're not seeing that kind of price action. Price action actually gives you a better clue. Because after you see a big red candle like that, what do you expect? You want to see a big green candle. If you don't see it, then what you're seeing is you're seeing the price basically lose this green candle. That's what's happening here. And now you're seeing a 15-minute candle close or trying to close underneath that level. That's pretty bearish, isn't it? It's pretty bearish. I'm in a long position. I'm going to close that out, actually, to be honest with you. I don't like what I'm seeing here. I was thinking potentially extended flat. And, you know, you need to see a failed auction now if we're going to come underneath here and lose this neckline. I was hoping for an SFP. It would be easier for an SFP. That was a nice candle if it had any kind of follow through. But what I'm seeing now is starting to look bearish. Yeah, so that's like a V shape in the reverse, isn't it? That's what you wouldn't sell here. You'd wait for the pullback, but it's not looking good at the moment. It was looking good earlier, but not anymore. So I guess something has happened to Bitcoin. Let's have a look at Bitcoin and see what's happening. I just want to see what they look like side by side again. Well, obviously, look, it's clear that Slerf is more bearish now. See here, Bitcoin goes up, Slerf is going down. Now Slerf is going down. Bitcoin's got, yeah. So you can see now that right now Bitcoin it was looking really nicely bullish, and now it's starting to look bearish. I'm actually going to now close out my positions. I'm going to start selling, unfortunately. It's a shame. It's trading for you. It's not a big deal. Look at this. Look at that. The 1 hour. It's. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Someone is selling. That's a big sell. Should have just marked it sold. Oh my God. That's a big dump. Look at that. Ah, sucks. All right. It's always better to sell in the highs. I was just going to close out my long. I was trying to limit out. Someone preempted me with a market dump. Let's see how far the price comes up. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Doesn't mean we're going to zero. Let me just have a look at this again. We've hit the value area low of this price range from this move up. Put in a lot of volume here just as the price came down. The problem is that volume was quite bearish, you know, and you've cleared all this liquidity. So my idea is pretty much invalidated. Moving average and their summary indicates sell. Yeah, moving averages do, and then the oscillators buy. The thing about moving averages is they're so slow. I think the problem with this now is clearly the momentum. So, oh gosh, we've just lost 15-minute 50. I'm wondering if we have another attack of the lows now. That's what I'm wondering. All right, let me have a look at this here. I'm closing all my position out, just most of it. Don't like that candle. Right, it was possible after that 4-hour candle. So that wasn't the impulse. I mean, it was quite impulsive, but the problem is this correction. So let's have a look at that. Yeah, look at that. Just lost it. How far did we come? Wrong one. Yeah, I don't see why. I don't see now why we don't come to the golden pocket. Honestly, I think that would be a good buy. But the problem is we've just changed market structure on the 5-minute time frame to bearish. That's the problem. That was your higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, and we're in another low now. So we've just changed market structure to bearish on Slerf, and I think as long as that continues, then it's gonna struggle a little bit. People won't buy into that now. It was a nice little pump while it lasted. And so what's the strategy here? Technically this 5, I like width as a meme coin with a lot of potential. I don't understand width. What is it? It's just a meme coin, huh? And what can you do with it? That's the question, really. I'm going to go soon. I think very soon, actually. And I'll probably just, I don't know what I'm going to do here. Technically, this could be 5 waves on Slerf. But obviously this isn't an extended flat. It could be still, you know, like it could be an extended flat, but you just have to now get back above that neckline. Yeah, you wouldn't buy until you could get back above there. Yeah, that's kind of your signal. Even then you're into a high volume node, but still it'd be better to find support lower down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then this whole thing is some kind of mad crazy correction. We're doing the other way around. Yeah. Jasmine and PPA had a good one this week as well. They have a nice popularity. I'm going to try and buy this cuff token, actually. That's what I've been thinking about. It's on the, I have to get it on Radium, I think. It's the one that I analyzed yesterday. Trade it. The one thing I like about the way the price came down here is it took these lows here, here, and here. That's the main one here, actually, because that's where you've got some kind of single print. So it could hold here. That's the thing. It may actually be a good place to buy. Look, it's into the, from this pivot to the high, it's into the golden pocket. And what have we got here? Some kind of volume area, I imagine. Oh, it's the point of control. It's moved. It's good. Now you can start longing again. Maybe. potentially. Look, that's a reaction. Just thinking about it, you have an invalidation here. It's just that low. The problem is you could take it. Good volume. If it holds here. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. It's not showing strength for us. The only thing that I'm worried about. Yeah, look. And Bitcoin. Gary, afternoon. You made it. I'm gonna go soon, actually. Slerf was looking quite bullish until it just dropped. Interestingly enough, I'm here having a conversation with Marve. He's been spamming me with facts and figures. We've just changed market structure and Slerf back to bearish on the 5-minute time frame. I was thinking that we were going to have some kind of, I was counting 5 waves here on this move up. I've deleted it. So I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. And I was looking for a corrective wave. I was thinking maybe it'd be an extended flat. For it to be an extended flat, we need an impulse now. Yeah. I kind of wanted it to just, I mean, the confirmation would be get back above this neckline. Yeah. So for an extended flat, it's like, you know, that. And obviously we've lost that kind of area here, this neckline. We're under it into the golden pocket of this pivot to the top. And it's the point of control of this move up. So I'm not quite sure what we're looking here. If this is the wave 1 of 3, whatever, then this is kind of how it would begin. And obviously the only thing is the same idea. You don't want to take this low. You take this low, this wave, this whole wave becomes invalidated as a wave 1. But we still have our pivot from down here. Which we haven't taken out. And that's quite, you know, we could find ourselves in a situation where we potentially take out this pivot, but not the original pivot here. That's an idea. If that was to happen, it would, you know, it could. Yesterday, as the price was coming down, I was explaining to Marve, he's probably tired of me by now. I mean, that correction was quite nice, wasn't it? I mean, it had really 2 places to come to. Yesterday, there were like 2 choices that I had in my mind. And looking at the correction again, I was thinking, you probably remember, I was thinking, I did a trend-based fib extension on the correction. Something like that. I'll do exactly. I was thinking, I was hoping for some kind of reaction at the 0.618. I said that that would be quite bullish to just kind of do this. That's kind of what I was hoping for. I was thinking if this is bullish, that's what I would want to see. Yeah, people are ready to just pounce. But we didn't get that. Instead, we got it went all the way down to, guess where? To my lower target, which was the 1-to-1 of this WXY. Yeah, that's what happened. You can't really predict stuff like that. You know, good areas where the price can reverse, and we had a little kind of 5-wave impulse, so I thought, okay, that would be nice. Maybe this is gonna go further, and it might. And so this is what we have to kind of observe. Is this the beginning of something, or is this the doom, the final doom for this token? Oh, it looks like it's in trouble. It's not doing well right now. Gonna have to close out my position. Oh God, I mean, that's not, I don't want to lose money. I've taken profit, so it's not a big deal. Ooh. I was stopped out. Oh, that's good. My stop worked. Oh, that's nice. Finally, something works. So yesterday, when the price is coming down, this is what you would call the 3 drives pattern. 1, 2, 3. If you haven't seen it before, there now you have. Effectively, what a 3 drives pattern is 3 pushes down, making lower lows until you finally spring out. 1, 2, 3, and the way you know is that the pullback is up to the 618, and then as it bounces, it comes up to the target is the 618. So from here to here, see, it comes up to the 618. From there to there, actually it doesn't actually even get to the 618. It kind of got front run here, and then in reverse from there to there, sorry, from the beginning to there, again it tried to get to it, front run there, and then actually did get to it. So your target is the 618 in that kind of trade. You see, this is what it is. This is a 3 drives pattern, and then the aim is the 618. We're getting a really bearish reaction now. So we just have to wait and see. I think we're in the right place for an impulse. This could have been it. It could still be it. But this is a really, really, really bad reaction from the highs. It's not bullish. It's very deep. We basically have to get underneath this impulsive candle here. If you make a low here, if you come underneath this purple line, that kind of invalidates that first bullish move. Otherwise, you could just as easily see. The thing is, this is so deep. This is like a sell-off. Yeah, it's not even a correction. It's like a sell-off. That's the problem. Yeah, correction. If it was a correction, you'd be thinking zigzag, and look at it. It's just a sell-off. Even if you zig, you're zagging down. So you're going to take out that low. So actually, I hate to say it, but it looks like we're going to take out that low, and then we have to see what happens. Yeah, do we make a swing failure? Do you get an impulse after a swing failure, Or are we just going to get a swing failure and people are going to position in for an impulse and then you get that? Yeah. And if you get that, you're taking out the low here. That being said, I do remember very clearly that I said that 5 p.m. today, we should probably see the end of this correction. Let me just calculate that, because I remember yesterday I was saying 5 p.m. It's now 5:40. Let me just try and figure out why I said 5. Which candle did I take it to? I thought there really on the 1 and the whole number. Yeah, that 618 actually looks better. Let me have a look at the 2-hour time frame actually and see if I get anything better. I mean, the 2-hour time frame puts it now in this kind of 2-hour block. So you see that? Just looking at it, I almost think the 618 would have been better, which is where we had our kind of drop yesterday and bounce. I honestly think this has to hold. And I'm not seeing it right now. Look at the volume come out. It's like a really strong sell-off. You'd have to have a really bullish reaction to change the destiny of Slerf right now, because that's looking mega bearish right now. What's the time? Yeah, I mean, you could quite easily see a buy up, but look, you're getting, let's see, if you put in a low, would you take that swing failure? Probably would. You probably would. But the problem is you'd be worried that because of what you're seeing now in the price action, that it could make another low. You don't really want to see lows made when you're thinking bullish. A lot of volume coming out now. So we had a little bit of a a move. So I was having a look at this cuff, and oh, someone bought, and then look, immediately a dump, up 45%, down 45%. I was contemplating the idea of another idea actually of this golden pocket. We had a reaction here into the golden pocket, and then I was thinking if I lined up my trend line a bit higher up, I get a higher target, a different kind of triangle. This is subjective, so I don't know. But what's interesting about this cuff now is that when you do a volume range pull, oh, no, it hasn't changed. I thought the point of control moved, but it hasn't. Moved down a little bit. Oh, this is a problematic for cuff. The value area low has moved. That's really problematic. So we're under the value area. That's actually quite good, because when that happens, it's easy to buy. You just wait for the price to find support on the value area low, and it kind of is, isn't it? It kind of is. So in the context of cuff, it's not a bad place to buy the value area low of this whole range. Yeah, bounce off the golden pocket. Let me just have a look at this. There's a bit of a sell-off happening now, so it's hard to know. You kind of want the price to settle, but potentially, would you buy that candle? Probably not, just because it's closed lower than this green one. You probably, what would you want to do in terms of candles is concerned, is wait for the price to get back above and then buy up. But I was thinking about closing out, selling my other token and buying that. All right, let's just have a look at Slerf again. It's going to be very challenging without having a wide stop loss. Right. So right now we're looking at the golden pocket. Right. This is the local price action. I'm looking at the 5-minute time frame. As long as the golden pocket holds as resistance, then there's no buys here. You can't buy at all. No, you can't. What you need is the golden pocket to flip back into support, and then looking at the volume profile of this kind of move up, just from that green candle that moved up, you can see actually now that the golden pocket is also the local range point of control. So that makes it easier. If the price has the ability to get back above, then you could buy that because you have an invalidation. Yeah. And if you see that the price is finding support after it goes up, that's a good. You don't necessarily have to capture the lows. Just looking at the candles though, you can look at the candles too. You kind of, what you want now, look at like a buy signal. And I don't know if you look at candles or not. I like to look at candles. And effectively what you want to do is you want to reclaim green candles. So you see this is the 1-minute time frame, so it's, you know, it's basically for scalping. As soon as the price can reclaim those 2 green candles, then you could get a bounce. And there's a little bit of a gap here, so that's a good trade, because if you can get above there, then it will go up quite fast, at least to those green candles there. Yeah. And when you lose the price, effectively it's doing the same thing. You can just do it on a slightly higher time frame, but if you look at this price action, you see how you had these one red here and a series of green. So as soon as the price lost this red candle, yeah, so this red candle is your first line of defense, but you lose it, the price changes. It changes direction there to there. See that? And I look at the body, and so what happened is the price lost that candle. That was the first line of defense for the price, and then as it came underneath, you see that resistance, and then that's what followed. Yeah, just because of that one single candle that had to hold the price. And so here you had a reaction, you had a close above it, that was quite good, but the next candle wasn't a continuation. So that's why you saw this price action. You needed that to continue, and it would have happened exactly right there. So that's something to bear in mind, and you can apply that idea in reverse as well. Oh, this is good. A little bit of a buy up. It's the same idea. Let's get back above those green candles. If the price can get back, this is the 1-minute time frame. That's the only reference I have. Looking at this, the price can get back above those green candles, hold it as support. Then that's your kind of first sign. Yeah, you have to wait. You see right now you're getting a little bit of selling, and so you just have to clear the liquidity from those clear green candles, and then there's a gap. Okay, now the gap actually begins here. That's the big gap. So there's a gap here as well. There's a couple of gaps here, and potentially if we do go up now, you could go up just to kind of stop at the gap there, fill this gap, but stop at that gap for continuation. Yeah, just these candles are just offering support and resistance. I'm getting some good buy up price action right now. I like this. It's looking quite bouncy. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not really doing anything. This is good, huh? This is good. I might take a stab at this. Just, oh, I've got to go. All right, I'm gonna have to go, guys. Unfortunately, I'm out of trades. I had a long and I just got invalidated just because it hit my stop. I'm just waiting to see what happens. I'm not like desperate to jump in, hoping for the best. Just simply because we're in the right area where the price can find support. But we need to see that. You can't just, we've had 5 waves here, and this is bad. This kind of sell-off is quite bad because it creates really strong downward momentum pressure. Yeah, and that's the problem with these kind of crazy sell-offs. It's good if you can reverse them, and if you reverse it, you'll see the price go up quite fast, and it actually has the opposite impact. And so you just have to see that happening. If you see that happening, then that could be a good entry. I am seeing a little bit of buying here, and so naturally, as I was saying, you need an invalidation, right? You don't want such a wide invalidation. You want a kind of closer one. We're above the point of control now of this local range. We're coming above these green candles on the 1 minute time frame. Yeah, so you have a little bit of an invalidation here. All right, it's even better if they have, what the hell, I don't know what you're saying. All right, if you can hold support here, that's the question. And you can't really tell on a 1 minute time frame. You may need, yeah, we may need a little bit of time. Okay, and obviously you look at the higher time frame candles, they are, you know, would you buy that? Possibly, you know, but it's not about me, it's about the market. We have to see the market buy it. Yeah, so that's what you're looking for now. If you are, it is a good place to kind of scale in, but obviously in the first instance, your invalidation is here for this 5 wave move, and then in the second instance, which is the correct instance, it's here. Yeah, and I would prefer to see a little bit of strength, because it doesn't really matter, because if we're going to go up, we're going to go up. If we see strength, we're going up. But if you continue to see weakness, then we're going to go for these lows, and I'd rather look for taking out the lows one more time than just to go up willy-nilly just for the sake of just for the sake of my bias. Okay, let's see what happens. All right, I think the first indication though, like if you're looking to enter, if you see, like, look at these candles, yeah, right now it's quite good. You know, right now this wick is holding the price. Let me see how that looks like on the 3 minute time frame. Get a 5 minute close above the 618, little back test, you know, fill that candle up, then maybe this is going to look very different. All right, I unfortunately have to go, Gary. I probably just need to have a look at it again when there's a little bit more data, and try not to FOMO in. But this is the right area, yeah? And so the only other thing that I was saying earlier, so you don't have to go and watch the video again, I'm not going to make a video anyway, is potentially where you could also be imagining some kind of A, B, C, D, something like that, yeah? So while I had it initially as WXY, why not something like this too? You know, it's possible too. And if that's happening, then you'd expect it to take out the low. If you hold a higher low here, then we could potentially impulse up for a wave 3. And that's why it's really important to keep an eye on what's happening here. This is looking quite kind of potentially. It could, you know, I'm out, but I might start scaling back in. I'm going to go climbing now. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Sunday, the sun is out. All right, see ya, guys.